Now guys, leading on from my last video about the issues I was having with the Pico, I don't know what was going on here. Now if you could look at the sandbed looks clean, the glass looks clean, there's no signs of any you know, long stringy bits like I said before, any sign of cyano or even dino. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Maybe it was because I've been dosing the NO3 and the PO4, I don't know. I have been changing a lot of a lot of filter floss, so you can see the filter floss is quite dirty. So what I do every evening, I would change the filter floss, put a new one in there, and you know, this is what it looks like in the morning. So I changed it this afternoon around 12 o'clock, and you can still see crap is being filtered from the tank itself. All the corals are opening up, and I realized that the GSP, the white spectrum on my AI Prime, may have been too high. I had it at like 40%, way too high. I think I've got it around 15 or 18%, and that seems to be working. And I've got like a nice blue shimmer going on there, which is sick about this light. Yeah, got loads of blue for the light, and just a little bit of white throughout the day for about maybe 3 or 4 hours, but the majority of my light is blue. Now guys, I need you guys to let me know, do you think that dosing the NO3 and PO4 did help? I don't know, because I've never seen everything open up so much in this tank. Even the SPS I have in here doing quite well. I mean, look at the GSP and how it's just extended. This thing was like, it was just retracted for about 3 days. Retracted. The lights may have been too high. You know, even the A cans are fully puffed out. Yeah, oh, dosing just happened there. Cool. Yeah, the zoas are all open now. If anyone knows what these zoas are, yeah, leave the comment in the comments below. Tiniest bubble tip, it's getting a bit bigger, but what would happen, because it's attached to this little rock here, when it gets too big or bigger, what I'll do, I'll just, you know, take it off and find some or another home for it. Yeah, I don't know what is going on. Someone did suggest that I should be feeding more. I haven't done it yet. What I did was I stuck with dosing the NO3 and the PO4, and that seemed to have worked. I don't know, maybe it was just a phase that the tank was going through. It was too much light, but that seemed to have settled down, and the tank is, right, it's looking like boom. That's the way I could describe it. Even the blasto head that was receding seems to be coming out again. So yeah guys, so thank you for all the suggestions, thank you for all the help guys. This is why, you know, I love having you guys, you know, in my corner when it comes to reefing. We can always bounce ideas off each other, and yeah, just keep it going. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this is a blastomusa my friend recommended for me to get. Now I just have this on the sand bed. It's on a like a little plate that's stuck to it, so it's not really, you know, embedded in the sand, just literally resting on the sand bed. And this is so unique. I've got blastomusas in my larger tank and a couple in here, but this one is quite unique. I've never seen like a color morph like that. I don't know exactly what it is, what the name is, but it looks really cool. Yeah guys, so I don't know how this thing got rectified. I don't know if I've done something differently. I don't know, because if I'm dosing the NO3 and PO4, it sorted itself out. It may be the light. Yo, listen, I'm just so happy that whatever was happening with the Pico, it seems to be resolving itself. Now the sandbed looks white, looks clear. There's no signs of any cyano or any, you know, thing that makes the tank look what it shouldn't look like. It just, the tank's looking really good. Thank you guys again for, you know, your comments. Thank you guys for your suggestions. If it does happen again, I will just, you know, move on to the next suggestion where someone recommended I dose phytoplankton, so I'll go on to that. If that doesn't work, then I'll go on to feeding a bit more. Hopefully then the PO4 will build up, and then we'll get rid of the dino, you know, if it does happen. Hopefully it will not happen. Okay, so now that we've spoken about the Pico, let's talk about preparing for summer. Right, so this is my area for my tanks, literally to the left of the sofa with my control board behind, and I have my dosing container at the bottom here. Now imagine if I had a chiller on the left side of this. I don't see, or haven't found any chiller that's quiet and doesn't dissipate heat. And my wife said to me, why don't we just get an AC unit for the front room? That way the whole family can benefit from having a cool room during the summer, and your tank can do so as well. So this is our AC unit that we use during the summer months. Now this AC unit helps keep the front room nice and cool, and then it keeps the tank nice and cool as well. Now some people say I could just literally buy a couple of fans, put it over my sump, and then I don't have to worry about it. Or I could buy a chiller. I don't want to buy a chiller, I don't want to buy fans. I just figured put the AC on. Yeah, it's about £250, probably about the same cost as a chiller anyway. Yeah, and it's something that, you know, that the whole family could benefit from. So it's by Amcor, and I've had this for about 2 years, and this thing has paid for itself. It doesn't cost that much to run during the summer, and also all I do is before I go to work, I would set a timer, so I know I leave for work for whatever time. I will set a timer to come on an hour after I leave and an hour before I come home. Yeah, so I know throughout the day while I'm away, the tank's temperature and the room temperature is maintained at a decent acceptable range. Now some people might say to me, like, you know, it's a lot of money to just pay for an AC unit just to keep a room cool and keep a tank cool. But I just think, in my opinion, that having an AC will just benefit everyone by, you know, being at a nice temperature when it's so hot outside. The tank can benefit from having a cool air being blown throughout the room, and then the fans just weren't doing it for me as well. I had a couple of fans on my sump. The evaporation was crazy from the fans blowing all the time. Also the temperature didn't go down that much, it took forever to go down, and yeah, it was just a long thing. Yeah. Now during the summer months there are other ways you could keep your tank cool. If your tank is small enough, you can actually use bottles of RDI water, put them in the freezer. When they're nice and frozen, you can chuck them in your sump, and as they defrost, they can actually cool the water around them. What I found with that solution is they defrost quite rapidly if the water is quite warm, and you probably get maybe 10 minutes worth of frozen water bottle within your sump. Yeah, and another thing to be aware of, guys, during the summer, lighting plays a big part in generating heat as well. So if you have just a single LED like I have on here, well, the Radeon Gen 4 Pros, it might not be that much of an issue. So if you have larger fixtures, so you can imagine how much heat that probably generates. So that's another issue or another thing to keep in mind when you are checking on the temperature of your tank during summer. Just a recap, so you can go the chiller route, yeah, you can go the fan route, you can go the frozen bottles of RDI water, depending on how big your system is, or you can go the AC route like how I went down. So right guys, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for your comments and your suggestions. I will be monitoring the Pico very, very closely. If the issue gets worse or if it comes up again, I will just move on to the next suggestion. See that through the end, ensure that I'm doing everything that you've suggested. If that fails, move on to the next. I don't want to do too many things and not know which one, or not be able to identify which one actually worked and resolved the issue. So thank you so much for subscribing. We're up to 300 subscribers, guys. Let's try and get to 1,000. This is Naran for ATI Aquatics Reefing. I'll see you next time.